exercise. In your mind, you can actually talk to yourself and say, I'm so grateful for so-and-so. You know, if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for her, you know, I probably wouldn't have made it here. Or if it wasn't for this, or if it wasn't for that. Or just internally being grateful. Talk to yourself. I'm telling you, you're going to feel better, number one. Mentally, psychologically, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel like a better human, right? And on top of that, Allah is going to give you this beautiful. And now when you get this beautiful thing called patience, you see, you can only gain patience when you are appreciative. For example, your child is a mess. Yeah? Your child is not doing well. He's not, you know, getting the right A's or, you know, the A pluses that we require them to get no matter what, right? Doesn't matter, COVID, no COVID, online, not online, right? We want them to be A plus no matter what. Anything lower than A plus, what do? Oh my God, you know when we were young? Who knows that line? Right? We know when we were young. You know when I went to university. You know when I went to college. Oh, right? So when we are grateful and we appreciate what they're actually doing, even though sometimes the situation is not warranting an appreciation, if that makes any sense. Even though sometimes the situation that you're in may not warrant an appreciation, may not, you know, be a situation where you can be appreciative. Like your, you know, kya kehte hain usko? Khoon khol raha hai, right? Your blood is boiling from inside, right? But you sit back, you focus on the bigger picture, and automatically you will see that you will gain the ability of being patient. And when someone is patient, my dear friends, the benefits that can come to him in accordance with deen and dunya are, Allahu Akbar, countless. When you have this amazing gift of patience, when you're able to sit back and take a deep breath, that's what they teach you in psychology. When you go for therapy, you know, patience is key. Patience is key. What you can conquer through patience, you can never conquer through an angry mind or tongue, through a loose temper. When you have a loose temper, it's very difficult to conquer anything. It's very difficult to accomplish anything. You see? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a sahabi came up to him once, Ya Rasulullah, advise me. He asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, advise me. What did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam advise him? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, La taghdab, do not. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam could have opened up the Quran. He could open up Bukhari. I mean, Bukhari wasn't there then, but you know what I mean, right? All the Sahih Hadith, because they're coming straight from him anyway, right? He could have spilled hadith upon advice upon advice upon Quran, and one phrase he says to him, La taghdab, my son, you know, do not be what? Angry. Control your anger. Control your anger. Allahu Akbar. Anyway, so gratefulness, that's huge. And you know, along with being grateful and along with being appreciative, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned another beautiful hadith. He says, لَيْسَ الْمُؤْمِنُ بِالطَّعَانِ, that a believer, a true believer, does not excessively criticize others. You know, especially in our communities, unfortunately, we are in the habits. Especially we end up at, you know, wedding ceremonies, or we're sitting, you know, at a nikah, or at, what do you call those, you know, Quran khatams. We're going to a blessed ceremony and we're sitting there talking ill and trash about the one who is getting married, or the one who is finishing Quran, or the parents of those whose child has maybe, you know, memorized the Quran. We find something or another bad about them. Oh, you know what? Mujhe to nahi pata isne Quran kaise khatam kiya hai yaar, aisa badtameez bachcha tha. La hawla wala. It happens, man. I tell you. I've heard it with my own ears, you know. So what did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say? He says, the true believer does not criticize. We are in the business of always criticizing one another. We're always, and sometimes it's even through a joke. You need to know your limits, my dear friends. Sometimes you hurt people. You hurt the closest people around you. Sometimes you're making fun of your wives because of their excess weight, because she gave birth to your child, right? But you can't be appreciative. You have to go and say, oh my God, you know, you're so this and that, or you're so round. And we say it with a laugh and a smirk, or sometimes we say it with you know, as if we're saying something nice, right? As if it's a joke. But wallahi, it hurts them. And you know, the dua of the mazloom is accepted by Allah, right? So please try to control yourself. And this all comes down to appreciation. That's why I mentioned this, is because when me and you are appreciative of the people around us, then we won't criticize them of these little things, right? So number two, last few things, inshallah, wala billa'an, and point out the faults of others. Rasulullah, he doesn't like that. He said, a believer is not someone who points out. Rasulullah in another hadith, he said that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really loves you, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really is looking out for you and wants good for you, then He is going to show you faults within yourself and not others. Then He is going to show you faults within yourselves and not others, if Allah really loves you. So this is also another way you can gauge if Allah is happy with you or not. If you're always pointing out mistakes of others, always pointing at others, then realize that Allah is also not happy with you. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. May Allah protect us. May Allah guide us. May Allah make us an ummah of good character, because that's really the one thing that is lacking. We're all here in the masjid, you know, ready to pray. We're all focused when Ramadan comes around. Muharram first, the masajid are full. Ramadan, the masajid are full. Our ibadat top notch. But when it comes to character, that's where we fall. And we hurt ourselves, and we also hurt others. We also hurt others. And the last thing he said, ولا باللعان ولا الفاحش, and obscene language, and to swear at others, and is not shameless in the way he speaks with others. Do not be, you know, obscene and degrading, and always give the benefit of what? Of doubt to others. Always learn to give benefit of doubt. Wallahi, you know, last thing I'm going to say, when we used to go madrasa, we used to get on a bus every Saturday evening and go to the ijtima' in the city. It was a shab guzari, we used to call it. And you guys should also go every Saturday night. It happens in Jami' Masjid on Devon Street. It's called shab guzari. The entire Muslim ummah gets together, and they watch, from all the different boroughs, and they remind themselves of the oneness of Allah, and the tahriqul iman is done, and so on and so forth. Anyways, so we were going to this ijtima'. We were all a bunch of kids. We got onto the bus, and the bus starts to go. Our madrasa and our dormitory was in the boonies, was in the woods. And so when we would come out of the woods and we would start driving towards there, we would go through downtown and the city and everything. And this is what I'm talking about in Toronto. So when we would go through Danforth and so on, and we would see, over here you call them hobos, right? We would see hobos sitting there on the sides of the streets, under the big tunnels and the bridges, with bottles of liquor inside of their hands, and with kuttas and dogs sitting next to them, black, vicious, Rottweilers and so on sitting next to them. And so Mufti Sahib used to look at these, and disheveled, of course, beard down to here, hair is disheveled, looking like they haven't taken they haven't bathed for years and years. Mufti Sahib would look at them and he said, even them do not look down upon them. Even them do not look down upon them, because you don't know, the next day they say the kalima and they enter into Jannah. And you, being a Muslim and a believer, you continue running your mouth and talking about her and him and him and her, and you end up in Jahannam. May Allah protect us all. So again, do not ever look down on one another. Right? Give the benefit of doubt. Give the benefit of doubt. You see someone with a bottle of liquor, again, just a random example, right? Within his hand, this is the kid from our community. Look, they're drinking. Blah, blah. No, maybe they're doing community service and cleaning up after the people who are drinking. How do you not come to that conclusion? because your mind is dirty. Your mind is filthy, right? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me, first of all, tawfiq, and all of us. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Announcements first, and then inshallah, sunnah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Quickly stand up and line up because of the construction, we are short on on the space. So please fill up the gaps. Allow your brothers to come in, make some space. Jazakallah khairan.
Jazakallah khair. Kindly make your way towards the front. Jazakumullah khair. Really appreciate your cooperation. Wa barakallahu feekum.
All right, a couple of announcements, inshallah. Al-Huda Summer Camp, second session is starting, inshallah, July, second week, which is July 11th, for 4 weeks. So if you're interested in joining the summer camp, you can go to Al-Huda Academy website or Al-Huda Summer Camp, Google it. You will find the link on Google as well. So it's starting on July 11th. So the space gets filled up really quickly. So if you're interested in summer camp, your child, it's fun and educational activities in there. The other is Eid Salah, Eidul Adha Salah, inshallah. It will be on Saturday or Sunday, 9th or 10th. Again, this Salah will be in Hanover Park District, in the Dome, depending on the timing. And then there are going to be 3 Salahs. One Salah will be at 6 a.m., but 6 a.m. Salah, right after Ishraq's time, is going to be then the masjid. People who wants to go for Qurbani, we are accommodating them with one Salah at 6 a.m. at the masjid after Fajr Salah. So, and then next Salah will be, I think, 8:30 and 10 o'clock. But we will give you the time, exactly what time it's going to be. But it's going to be after 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. So inshallah, there are going to be 2 Salah in the Park District. First Salah here and the 2 in the Park District. Vote. So if you have not voted, make sure that you're voting and you're going out to vote, because it's important. This race is very important to Muslim community, to make sure you vote if you have not voted. There's also somebody from the Jesse White office. They are also running for Jesse White office. So if you wanted to meet with them, they're outside as well. Also, don't leave your old books and material in the masjid. This is not a dumping ground for your old books. We see every month or week or 2, people just bring a big trash bag and leave their old cassettes, CDs, old books, and Quran as well, which are not really torn up Qurans. We can't take them. We have no way to dispose them. So the best way is you need to talk to an alim. He will tell you, maybe Sheikh Yaseen can tell you how to dispose Quran in a minute or 2. But please do not bring it here, because we have no way to keep them anywhere. Jazakallah khairan. And also remember in your donation, as you know that work is going on. The cost is really extremely double or triple right now. So your donation is needed. Jazakallah khairan. Give you 5 minutes for sunnah, inshallah.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا تبارك الذي نزل الفرقان على عبده ليكون للعالمين نذيرا ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله فقال الله تعالى في القرآن بعد أن أقول أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون وقال تعالى والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام ليس المؤمن بالطعان ولا باللعان ولا الفاحش ولا البذيء أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم اللهم اجعل خير أمري آخرا وخير عملي خواتمه الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله قال الله تعالى إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد صلاة تنجينا بها من جميع الأهوال والآفات وتقضي لنا بها جميع الحاجات وتطهرنا بها من جميع السيئات وتبلغنا بها أقصى الغايات من جميع الخيرات في الحياة وبعد الممات إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء والأموات. اللهم يا رب العالمين أخرجنا من الظلمات إلى النور. اللهم يا أرحم الراحمين ألف بين قلوبنا وأصلح ذات بيننا يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أجرنا في مصيبتنا واخلف لنا خيرا منها يا رب العالمين. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث. أصلح لنا شأننا كله ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا من الراشدين. اللهم توفنا مسلمين وأحينا مسلمين وألحقنا بالصالحين غير خزايا ولا مفتونين. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك منه نبيك وحبيبك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ونعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذ منه نبيك وحبيبك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وأنت المستعان وعليك البلاغ ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أرحم أمتي بأمتي أبو بكر وأشدهم في أمر الله عمر وأصدقهم حياء عثمان وأقضاهم علي رضي الله عنهم وارضاه. عباد الله رحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون فأقيموا الصلاة. Brothers and sisters, please kindly make your way forward, fill in the tiniest gaps. Please do not leave any gaps for shaitan. And likewise, let the believers from the rear be able to come in through the two doors because there's a lot of backup in the rear. Kindly fill in the gaps as much as possible. Wa jazakumullahu khairan.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
صووا صفوفكم واعتدلوا. Please silence your phones. Straighten your lines. Don't leave any gaps in between. أطيبوا الصف الأول في الأول. Please fill in the first lines first. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت وإلى السماء كيف رفعت وإلى الجبال كيف نصبت وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت فذكر إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر إلا من تولى وكفر فيعذبه الله العذاب الأكبر إن إلينا إيابهم ثم إن علينا حسابهم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. Allahu Akbar. Tahiyyat. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الله أكبر. استغفر الله. السلام عليكم. السلام وإليك يرجع السلام. تبارك وتعالى. Inshallah, we'll make a short dua for our community members who are ill and those who have passed on towards the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم ألف لام ميم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وعنت الوجوه للحي القيوم يا أول الأولين يا آخر الآخرين يا ذا القوة المتين يا راحم المساكين يا أرحم الراحمين يا ذا الجلال والإكرام والعزة التي لا ترام نسألك يا الله يا رحمن بجلالك ونور وجهك أن تشفي مريم سيد ومريش خاتون وفيزان أكرم وكامران أكرم وحسن وحسين بتيل وزيشان أختر يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم يا رب العالمين اللهم اشفهم يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اشفهم يا رب العالمين واغفر جميل عبد الله وكل الأموات يا أرحم الراحمين وتقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين. If anybody wants to know how to dispose of your scriptures, Quran, if they're broken, ripped and so on, you can approach me inshallah after. Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum. On my right, the parking lot B driveway is totally blocked. This is very dangerous. This is somebody, the BMW, white BMW is I think X3 or something. He parked in the middle and now everybody parked behind him. So you cannot be the first person who's doing something wrong. Then people follow you. Because I cannot say that other 8 cars who parked and blocked the driveway, they are wrong because they're going to say the first car was parked in front, I parked it behind them. So if somebody is doing wrong, it means that it's okay to do another wrong behind him. It's not. So please make sure you do not block the driveways. That's really, really dangerous because the emergency vehicles cannot come in and out. Also, when we are done with the Salah, it takes longer for people to get out from the parking lot. It just creates a ripple effect for second Salah to be delayed. So please cooperate with us. Do not block the driveways at any cost. Jazakallah khairan.
Jazakallah khair. Kindly, if you may, please pray your sunnahs at home if you don't have to go back to work so that we can proceed with the second Jummah, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.